Nice. Hello, YouTube. Here because this one was recommended to me. Limbo of the Lost, the greatest bad game. The guy said that is his favorite creator uh, gaming channel, and he recommended this video. The link is on the description. If you want to, if you like it, please give a like, comment something. If you want to recommend something, would be nice too, and subscribe. Okay, with that said, let's go. Limbo of the Lost, the greatest bad game.
Shake a leg. Get a move on. Oh, la, 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 la.
What the fuck? Already in the beginning,
Hurry up,
it started strange.
Shake a leg. Get a move on. Oh, la, 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 la.
What the heck? This animation, strange. MandaloreGaming.
A few weeks ago, a game called Hunt Down the Freeman was released. To put it bluntly, it's abysmal. There are feature-length videos talking about how bad it is. On top of that, it was using assets that appear to be stolen from other games and mods. I saw some people calling this the biggest scam in gaming, but I remembered a story very similar to this one, and not too long ago actually. Imagine a game that stole at least 10 times as much stuff but got a physical release. Well, it's here. It's actually right here on my desk. Highly enjoyable. I was immersed
Looking forward to a great day of adventure.
within the first few minutes. I've never heard of
Forget the reality landed to darkest dreams. What the heck?
any of these websites, but I do agree that it is a highly enjoyable game. As you can tell from the title, this isn't just going to be a review this time. It's going to be a little different. So in the spirit of Hunt Down the Freeman, I'd like to share a game that's so bad it's good, but also so much more. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started.
Let's go.
Forget reality.
Limbo of the Lost. Holy
This is maybe
shit.
the best advice you'll get in the whole game. When you start it up, you get a cutscene of someone falling through fire, and it's from the movie Spawn. I don't mean they ripped it off.
Okay, it's recording again. I had to give a pause because I have to do something. Now I'm back. Let me go back 30 seconds. Oh,
This is maybe the best advice
it was
you'll
in
get
the
in the whole
beginning.
game. When you start it up, you get a cutscene of someone falling through fire, and it's from the movie Spawn.
Spawn, that superhero. I remember knowing about him because my ex-brother-in-law that was the guy that was married to my sister. How do I say it in English? Well, I think his brother-in-law. Yeah, he really liked this Spawn, so he presented it to me, the hero. It was his favorite hero.
I don't mean they ripped it off, I mean they literally took this scene from the movie Spawn,
Holy
and they
shit.
just made it their intro. The only thing different they did was putting a border around it. And the border itself,
They just
taken
stole
from World of Warcraft
Bro.
wallpaper. The game hasn't begun.
just in the beginning, and they are still two things.
And there are already 2 lawsuits waiting to happen. This came out in 2008. This wasn't, Wild West internet. I'm not going to play the whole intro, but there are only 3 people listed in the
Limbo
credits,
of the
and that's
Lost.
probably why. Also, I have no clue what anyone's saying or what's happening. Give a listen
This
to the audio.
animation is
mix.
so strange.
Why, it's a monster.
What the fuck?
The presence of the living.
What
We'll
the
come
hell
up
is
again
this
later,
intro?
but even if you could hear them, it wouldn't make a difference. Finally, we get to the prologue, featuring a vaguely adjusted Battle for Middle-earth loading screen. Then, it begins.
What the? Bro.
So you are with?
Holy shit. It's kind of funny. It's so stupid, so ugly, so bad. How do I say it? I forgot how to say it in English. How so bad made. And it's kind of funny.
Good, good, good. No, no, no. Do not be fearful of me. I am to help, not to hurt. I am friend.
Where do you even start with something like this? Well, first of all, the
What
style of
the hell?
cutscene may be familiar to some people. I couldn't understand what it was until later. It's a spiritual successor to the CDI Zelda cutscenes. It has all the ingredients.
Oh boy, I'm so hungry I could eat an Octorok.
Arak doesn't tell you about your backstory or why you're there, but he tells you to stay away from the Dark
What
Ones.
the heck?
Well, I guess he tells the main character Briggs, because you, the player, are a character.
Yes, yes. Look, they're on the other side.
So the game is from your face?
When you finally get to playing, it seems
Or
like
you do you control the guy or
any typical adventure game. Limbo the Lost is entirely in 2D, which is awkward. At best, the
kinda
Briggs
strange,
model
looks
just seems out of
strange.
place compared to everything else.
you control this guy? Okay.
At its worst, the
I
game
think-
just doesn't know how to
I'm
handle
not sure.
it. A lot of the backgrounds look jagged and awful, and in
The
theory,
way he walks.
this could be fixed with anti-aliasing. I tried setting it up to maximum, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't do anything. Oh right, like I just said, this is a 2D game, so that's a screenshot. Why have the option? That is incredible. Sometimes character sprites will double over each other in different positions. The art style can change every other room. Basically, the visuals are a mess on a technical and artistic level. Some people play adventure games to explore aesthetically pleasing worlds, and this isn't one of those. Limbo of the Lost keeps you entertained by being half freak show and half scavenger hunt. For example, the first room you're in, stolen from Return to Castle Wolfenstein. The entire beginning of the game is. I'm not going
Bro, they stole everything.
to show all of it, so it would take forever. Just seeing what's stolen is fun, but there's so much more. For example, here's going up a set of stairs.
What the hell?
That's never explained, it just happens. That's the story for this game. Things
You are like... What is happening
It's
here?
never explained, it just happens. That's the story for this game. Things happen.
Who are you? Oh, faggot's the name, and cooking's my game.
That's not a joke. The character's name is Cranny Faggot, and we're still in the
Holy
prologue.
shit.
Go away.
Maybe I can try to play this game? I'm not sure. Sounds like it's an old game. Maybe it's don't have on Steam. Does it have Steam? I'll probably have to look it up how to download. I think. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it.
Black Hawk trust no one. Black Hawk only trust birds.
I hope you can understand why this is beyond the regular video format. This is going to be a house tour / history lesson of an
Black
insane
Hawk.
asylum. I'm not going to show all the good parts, but I'm going to break some things down, show some stolen stuff, and show how it doesn't work. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I'm no stranger to sound issues in games. However, Limbo the Lost
What
has a
game
unique
is this?
one that I haven't seen anywhere else. There are no audio
The
options,
hands look
not even volume
static.
control. Fair enough. I can just lower it in the volume mixer. This works for a little bit. Whoa, what happened? The sound level just jumped back up. Whenever you change a room, your volume spikes back up to your default.
Bro,
I've never seen something like this. I can only guess it's running some kind of check every time it loads a new room and then sets your audio up. Shh. Grunger. The big technical issue is that the game is prone to crashing. It seems to be random, but right here, I can swear that Briggs crashes the game.
bro. Wait a
Well, there's
minute.
your port report, PC
Wait a
Master
minute.
Race. Luckily, you can load from the splash screen. Or anywhere else in the game. If a conversation is going too long and you're worried about crashing, you could just pause the game and save in the middle of it. So the crashing isn't as big of a deal as it should be. By the way, check out the menu.
If you save everything, back to hell, so I shall save your soul and deny.
The unpause button being back to hell is pretty funny. But look at the gargoyle.
He realized better use.
I won't run out of these anytime soon. It's good that the technical issues are for the most part weird and not game destroying. Having a so bad it's good game is much harder than a so bad it's good movie. With something like The Room, you just pop it in and watch Tommy do his thing. This is why good bad games are hard to find. A bad game is like having Tommy Wiseau make the movie, but also the DVD it's carried on, and the DVD player. I've seen some people say that Hunt Down the Freeman is a so bad it's good game, but it's really not. If you're spending more time lost or feeling frustrated than laughing at the works of a madman, it's just not a good bad
Yeah,
game.
true.
I don't think
There is a fine line between a Kuso game that it's fun to play and a Kuso game that is a hell to play. So yeah.
I think games that are designed to be broken like Goat Simulator should count for the category, but I'm not the expert. There's just something special about seeing someone's different brain working at full capacity on a passion. Limbo of the Lost started development sometime in the early 90s, so nearly 20 years went into this. So the fact that it's
Holy
functional
shit.
and relatively hassle-free on a modern system is a blessing. So now I'm going to show you how the
20
game is
years?
played. The interface is very simple. You can right-click anywhere in the game world to open up a Ouija board. On an object, you can sense it, look at it, take it, or perform an action on it. In reality, you'll only be using 3 of these and not sense because it's useless. It's your sense of smell, but most things in the game you can't smell.
No sense, no feeling.
99% of objects in the game will say that. When it comes to inventory, you just mouse to the top of the screen to access it, and you can use your actions on these items as well. For example, if you have a letter, you could use the look command and then read it.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Well, I guess Cranny Faggot likes to drop.
This note was written by Ganger to his mother, Cranny Faggot. So she likes to drop off the heads. What the
For the hard stuff, but the menu. Ah. Let me know if you see anything that I
Bro.
miss. Anyway, some of the letters only open main menu options. You won't get all the letters until about the last 10 seconds of the game. Since you also click to move around as well, you don't need your keyboard for any of this. So the controls are fine and the UI is passable except for 2 flaws. That compass is always spinning. You might be saying, so what, it's spinning around. Well, just wait. When the levels will start turning into a maze, this is going to get into your head.
What the
To
heck?
give it credit, it will stop moving when you mouse over an exit, but it might not always stop in the exact right place. Like right here, it stops moving for a moment, but I click there and I can't move off it. Nope, that didn't do it. Oh my god.
Ooh,
Come on,
bro,
finally, there we
sounds
go.
a hassle to play. I imagine how much time he spent to make this video, bro.
Interesting piece. I saw those skulls just everywhere. Well, once again, it's more Diablo. And a shield of all things.
Interesting.
Naturally, you expect bad adventure game logic for the puzzles. And don't worry, those are there. It just takes it farther into crazy person logic. So now I'm going to go through the game chapter by chapter and show things I thought were interesting. Not all of them in
Okay.
case you want to play it yourself, but enough to give you an idea of what to expect.
Oh, I say, we have a visitor.
One more strange
How
character
lovely.
in the animation. What the?
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
The same reaction. What the fuck?
Hang on. Do not be afraid.
What are these animations? Ooh, bro. It's some kind of mind. Maybe it's a project that he did when he used drugs, or maybe things that he saw in dreams. Because why? I want to imagine the why he did it. He wanted it to make a different thing, something that would be remembered the way that is remembered. I'm not sure.
Is that better?
Dungeon Master.
The prologue is brief, but it serves as a perfect introduction to the game. Your main goal is to
It
steal a
isn't
key from a
so-
jailer known as Grunger, or Grunger, depending on who you're talking to, and escape the level. To get the key, you need to make a sleeping potion and knock him out and snatch it from his neck, except he's already asleep. Huh. What's interesting is how they were able to except he's already asleep. Huh.
It's not. Huh. What a mind. What a mind of the creator.
What's interesting is how they were able to weave the stolen
Did he ever do another game, or that was his own game. He said that he spent 20 years making this game, so
backgrounds together into something consistent. Like I said before, the very beginning is from Wolfenstein, but the later parts of the prologue are from a different game, an Xbox hack and slash called Enclave, or Enclave depending on where you're from. This is what you would go out and rent before the Souls games were invented. Back in the day, we just called it Swede Souls, you know, because Starbreeze is Swedish.
when Enclave. Oh,
Man,
looks
this
nice.
reminds me of the good stuff. Anyhow, I went on a sightseeing tour in some games to find the locations.
Bro.
A lot of the Limbo of the Lost backgrounds are really zoomed in or have
Looks so
the colors
strange.
adjusted, but it's not enough to hide it, especially if someone's looking for it. However, Enclave is integrated into the game a little bit differently than the others in one area. In the prologue, you meet a trapped character who's hanging in a suspended cage and he doesn't shut up. It's a joke that goes on way too long, but I like the skeleton in the background. You need to collapse the cage so you can grab his arm and then throw it into the sleeping potion you're making. You go to the room above the cages and see the two ropes suspending them. There's a huge lever in the room, but it does nothing when you try to action it.
Okay.
Plus, I can see that these ropes are attached
So
to
it's
a gate.
a puzzle.
Meanwhile, I found the same room in Enclave. They did try to hide this a little bit more by flipping the screen around. Good hustle. So you pull the lever and it raises the gate. The one you can clearly see. In Limbo of the Lost, you have to be
Okay.
Captain Kleptomaniac to put together a torch and then burn down the rope.
What the? Who's that screaming?
Meanwhile, no, you can't slash the ropes. Maybe they thought that the puzzles were too similar, so made their own torch puzzle to differentiate from it. But in that case, why leave the lever there? Did they not have anybody who could Photoshop it out? I haven't gotten there yet,
True.
but it's not even the most blatant plagiarism. Not even close. So what came first, the torch or the lever? Was the puzzle based around a stolen level, or did the puzzle come first and they just made the level fit into it somehow? Well, I think I have the answer. Remember when I said it was in development for nearly 20 years? Well, they released a demo in 1995 for the Amiga 32. The 88th issue of the Amiga Computing magazine only had some images of it, but the 11th issue of a magazine called Amiga CD32 Gamer had a demo. As far as I can tell, issue 11 is lost to time, but the
Limbo
demo
for the
isn't.
Lost.
Time to fire up the emulator.
What a stink. And before you say it, it isn't me.
Huh.
Man, gaming
Amiga
used to be so much better back in the day.
600.
Get reality. Surrender to your darkest dream.
They kept the same line. Wow, it'll have hordes of monsters. I've got to admit, this game looks a lot nicer than the one they released.
Yes. The original idea was better. And somewhere along the way, he abandoned the art style, the thing that he wanted it to do.
Stuck? Try logic.
The Amiga version is actually more of a pain because you have to cycle through more options with the mouse by right-clicking.
Oh,
Door.
What makes it unbearable is if you don't do something for 7 seconds, it stops the game.
sounds like a hassle to play through. It looks better, but it doesn't. Just because it looks better doesn't mean that it plays better. From the beginning, the gameplay and the ideas were, you know, bleh.
Game.
Hello?
This is also a time demo, so I don't want to have to keep restarting it. It's really reminding me of CDI Zelda now. But wouldn't you know it, it's the exact same first puzzle. Grabbing the torch, combining it with the human fat, and lighting it in the cauldron. The exact same
Okay, now
thing.
what?
Nah, this brew's designed to chew, not spew.
Mr.
What a
Faggot.
weirdo.
This demo is going to have some more importance, but I'm going to put it aside for now. The demo proves that, on some level, there was an original game being made, so it wasn't a complete sham of grabbing things from other games and designing it around that. That being said, there are stolen elements that are just lazy. For example, all the signs are using a Lord of the Rings font. Why not use a font that doesn't need a license? It's a shame because the elements that are original are genuinely bizarre and funny.
You need a license to the other to
Are just lazy. For example, all the signs are using a Lord of the Rings font.
Lord of the Rings font. You need a license to it. Can you license a font? Maybe I should make a font for myself.
Why not use a font that doesn't need a license? It's a shame because the elements that are original are genuinely bizarre and funny.
What the?
So how bad do the puzzles get? The sleep potion isn't that far-fetched, except you also need the jailer's snot to complete it. Plus, you get your first
Oh.
taste of crazy person logic. Cranny's potion calls for liquor, so you'd think you could find some liquor somewhere, but you can't. You fill a jar with water, combine it with a worm, and then you have tequila. That's dumb, but only
And how is the person that is playing for the first time without a prologue or without a tutorial? How is he to discover? What the heck?
a taste of what's to come. I'm back from the sewer water. Here's your booze, Madam Faggot. You wake up the jailer to give him the potion that puts him back to sleep and then grab his key. And you're done.
Grubs up. My favorite.
My favorite. What the?
Chapter complete. The tutorial. I'd usually be in the middle by now, but everything's all messed up in this video. And so begins Chapter 1.
Bro, everything was just the tutorial.
The keeper of lost souls. You have done well to get this far.
What is this place?
To some, this is home. To others, it is a halfway house between their world and the next.
Okay.
This is the keep of lost souls.
Bro.
So tell me, am I dead? What the?
The same reaction. The same surprising reaction to everything.
Here, let me give you this.
What the fuck? Who writed this?
Sorry about that. Don't know what came over me.
We are off to an excellent start. This is when the levels start to open up and the true madness begins. There are a bunch of coffins you could grab items
I guess
from,
it's
but
a
several
way
of
to
them
the
are
guy
red
to-
herrings, and they don't do anything.
I guess it's a way to the guy that made to put his whatever strange ideas it comes to his mind or something like that. I don't know why you trying to understand why he did it.
There are
but
also 3 items,
maybe there is not a why.
2 of which you need to complete stuff, but you can only hold one at a time. One gift to rule them all. Some of the investigating is odd and lacks visual cues. I use take on an empty eye socket and I get a glass eye out of it. Why not just have an eyeball there? Chapter 1's
Yeah.
beginning is all about teaching you not to trust what you can see. Like crossing this bridge that has rotting planks that are breaking apart. All the
Very
items I
bad
collected
made.
didn't help me out, but here's the answer. You go to the entrance of the level and pick up an entire coffin lid. Now you could use it on the bridge to cross. That doesn't look safe to me. Your perspective really gets thrown off in this level. Not long after, you find
True.
what looks like a satanic dog bowl. Fluffy. Oh, don't tell me. I was really expecting the dog from Harry Potter. Or maybe the model from the game.
Fluffy. That's the name of the. I never watched any of the Harry Potter movies. That's the name of the dog, or something like that.
Hey, are you asleep?
Oh my god, they did it. Alright,
So
I see
fucking
it.
ugly.
And stop. Actually, they are 3 separate dogs, so it's not a complete ripoff. But then why only show one dog bowl in the cutscene? The world may never know. To keep the dogs distracted, you have to put a bone in each of their
Yeah, with this game, with this video, I came to notice that you can't really try to discover or think about the why. Maybe there is never why. He just did it.
bowls. For every bone you put in, a gate opens up. This room is a 3-door hub to the rest of the level, so ideally you want all the doors open at once. The only place you can get a bone is from the first room, but you can only carry one at a time. It's about a minute trek each way and there's no special event or challenge, it's just to waste your time. As for the level itself, it's interesting in that it's not only plagiarizing, but also recycling plagiarized material. It's mainly Painkiller, the catacomb level to be exact.
Ooh,
All they did
that's
here was
nice.
slightly angle the
Painkiller.
screenshots they took and sometimes slap
Never
some signs
played.
around. Dead Man's Drop, Dead Man's Curve, Dead Man's Gorge. I wish I was dead. I wouldn't call it a maze because there's only so many directions you can go, but it is annoying. Like any average adventure game, some stuff you can figure out on your own, but others are just deranged.
Oh, thank you, Black Hawk, but really,
Black
there's
Hawk.
no need for... Shh.
No buts. Now, go.
Do you know what? Every gift tells a story.
It's like you go in a trip. Uh, I would not know because I never used any drugs, but maybe that's how they feel. The same feeling of you watching and seeing these strange images, strange things being said, strange things being shown. I kinda like it. I kinda like it because it's a expression of a strange mind. The free form expression of a strange guy, maybe something like that. It has it's a bad game, but it has its value. It has its value. How do I pronounce it? I don't know. Um, well, he did steal some things to make this game, but the strangeness of the town, it's kind of interesting. I'm glad that this guy made this video about it.
I would be really excited to see Briggs in the new Smash. While there
Shift
are
Black
more
and
elaborate
Hulk.
puzzles to choose from, there's a really simple one that shows Madman logic, or maybe 4-year-old logic. Eventually, you'll need a soul of a warrior to get past a statue that's drunk and sounds like Predator. You need to switch the real green soul bottle with a decoy that you make yourself. So you fill up an identical looking bottle with water, that's a good start, but what do you mix it with? You use a bag of saffron. Now saffron
Bag of
spice
saffron.
is typically more red colored. The color saffron is named after the tips of the flowers that make the spice. So assuming it
Oh.
is a bag of the spice, it'd be more
What the heck? I hope the energy don't go away. There was something wrong with the energy in the house. Oh shit. If it's go away in the middle of the thing, it would be bad. Wait a little. It's okay, I think. Okay, let's continue. And pray.
red colored, but we can pretend that it's all golden saffron tips. So you combine
My air conditioner, my air, stupid. Oh well,
the yellow saffron with the water
it's
and
gonna
you
get
get
hot.
green. Because water is blue and saffron is yellow and blue plus yellow equals green, water isn't paint, at least not in my part of the country yet.
Come along now, you can let me now. Yeah, it's alright. I promise you won't go to sleep.
What the fuck?
Talk about anything. I promise you. Yeah.
The first level also has the first of 3 hidden
It's
items.
a fucking comedy
You can only see
game.
it if you aim for the left of the stairwell here. It's not horrible, but a little too out of the way. Rest assured, each one of these will be worse than the last.
My favorite.
Here, you must take in exchange for gift.
I think that's enough of Chapter 1. Like I said
the
before,
fuck?
I'm only giving you a taste of what's in store. The sewers. What's really incredible is how little you learn by talking to so many people. We're now 2 chapters in and we only know that we're a chosen one and that we're stuck in limbo. The story
True.
offers just about zero intrigue. Like anything so bad that's good, you just keep playing to see what happens. It still might be best
Yeah,
to play this
just-
game in bursts.
Just your curiosity to make you go with this hassle, and because it can have some funny scenes as we saw.
The ambient audio never stops looping, but this one soundbite is the worst. It's roughly every 2 minutes. It's also a stolen sound effect
What
from the
the
Hammer
heck?
Hansen Thief. The sewer/swamp level has the most plagiarized things I could recognize without looking stuff up. The first screen, once you pass into the sewer, is from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Most of the gross sewers
Bro.
seems to be the Hollywood sewers. There's an entire
Plagiarize
room filled with Morrowind
everything.
items. There's a set of orcish armor and a bunch of weapon models they just retextured. This won't be the last we see of Elder Scrolls games. Not even close. There's also this Greek helmet in the corner I thought was from Google Images. After looking around, it turned out to be the Dusk Deep helm from Diablo 2. Incredibly, I don't think this is the most blatant plagiarism in the game yet. That won't be until next chapter. Chapter 2 does have one of my favorite stolen assets, the flute. Not the instrument itself, but the song. Okay,
Bro.
they had a little Indiana Jones tune. So what? Well, it's more than you think.
Oh, that is gonna be a rock
They
too?
didn't bother to whistle the tune themselves, but instead took an Easter egg from Serious Sam. That is impressive. As for the game, it's very similar to Chapter. That is impressive.
What the fuck?
As for the game, it's very similar to Chapter 1. Once again, there are 3 main doors, except this time you can only open one at a time. Innovative. The puzzles themselves are becoming more cruel, both narratively and mechanically. Can you see the important item in this room? It's not this panel, not this jar, not the glowing picture on the wall. It's a piece of wood on the back desk. You can only click on about 2 pixels of it, so you can mouse right over it and miss it. This is the second worst hidden object in the game. As for narrative, at one point Briggs sneaks up on an old man and then puts an iron bear trap over his eyes.
Bro.
That seems a bit excessive, so why would he do that? To take his pen and ink. Reality is slipping.
Every time something more strange.
Oh neat, Thor's hammer.
Ooh. What the fuck? Out of nowhere. Somewhere in the
Logic
sewers.
is running on empty in Chapter 2. So now we're
He's
gonna move
just-
on to the only
It's just freestyling craziness. Don't think about the why.
real plot and character driven level in the game. Chapter 3.
Welcome to Darkmare. Just close
Why is the
shots,
music
man.
double overlaying? Darkmere.
He's very, very worried about you, and I'm a little bit worried myself about being worried about your friend, being worried about you, being worried about this, and I want you to take it so I don't have to worry no more.
He just
Thank you.
don't care. He stopped caring about the things make sense. He just doing whatever comes to mind, I think. Bro,
Soul Taker! Soul Taker!
Her audio is way better than the main characters. What? Darkmere is the first time you can learn more about the inhabitants and where you are. It's refreshing. After doing random tasks with very little story drive, it's nice to have some narrative. Briggs has been accused of being a monster called the Soul Taker. You're imprisoned in a very familiar looking cell, but it's not for long. You find your way out.
Darkmare prison.
Seems we have done you a great injustice, my good fellow.
The mayor appoints you as detective, so now you need to interview people, gather clues, and find the real Soul Taker. You even have a little LA Noire clue book. Why is the snow not cold? That's a good start. And so begins the most unbelievable plagiarism in the game.
Bro, Skyrim music.
You cannot be serious. Nearly every single interior is ripped out of Oblivion. It's not remotely subtle. They copy floor plans entirely. The Shivering Isles expansion had come out just the year before. This could have been on the same shelf as Oblivion. People were actively playing this game. How could they think no one would notice? It's mind-blowing. There's no other way to put it. Out of all the things that people might miss, you took entire levels from a popular AAA game that was still on shelves. Even then, they still managed to screw up the background. I still play modded Oblivion from time to time, so I could go right down to the first edition bookstore. Here he is behind the
I
counter.
never played the Oblivion or Skyrim or any of these games. I could play from the beginning, to the last, and I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna play the remaster. I'm gonna play the original because I want to see the original artistic intent of the creators.
And here's the back view. You enter the building from the wrong side. The register facing the clerk, the books facing outwards, it's all mixed up. They couldn't even get the chair completely out of the shot. This feels like having an out-of-body experience. The fact that living human beings thought they could do this and make money off of it without getting in trouble is mind-boggling. Now would be a good time to bring up the fire. Since they just screenshotted the level, they needed animated torches. All the fire in the game uses fire.gif. They downloaded a fire GIF, put it on the Oblivion screenshot, level completed. It wasn't even the first time in the game they took Oblivion assets, but Darkmere is chock full of them. It's unreal. Literally unreal. Unreal Tournament 2004, except they were taking and editing user maps. So they took all these measures to change the map from some map maker, but not the major studio game owned by ZeniMax?
I mean...
What the hell? Lumbago. What the
Oh dear.
I can never return to first edition.
What the
So,
heck?
what is there to see in Cyrodiil? There are several interesting characters. You might not be able to talk to them for long, but what's there is really good. Much like the real Oblivion, however, it's held back by the amount of voice actors they had. Much of Darkmere's population is voiced by one guy pitching his voice up and down or making funny voices.
It seems we have done you a great injustice, my good brother.
Yeah, it don't seem like a game that have too much people working on it. Some crazy dude with the freestyling ideas.
Can I help you, miss?
Actually, it's Mr., not Miss.
What? You can't be my sister. I haven't even got a sister.
Mister, I'm a man.
For an age, it seems that this has been going on. One after another, they disappear. Souls taken.
There are two actors with better equipment, but they have their own issues. Sometimes you can hear the click of someone starting to record it in the background.
My pleasure, Mr. Detective. Now, you sure nothing takes your fancy before you go?
Detective? I say, detective. We found another one.
It's a different voice for the same
Can
guy.
you hear me?
Well, at least he died peacefully.
Can you help me find the Soul Taker?
Mon Dieu, s'il vous plaît, monsieur. Do not say those two words within this house. Shadows may seek even this place.
What the fuck?
Come on. Give her a chance at least.
What? Detective Briggs is a mix of both the best and the worst the game has to offer. Exploring the town and finding clues are more engaging than all the other chapters, at least until you hit a wall. Unlike the previous levels, Darkmere is
because the guy clearly doesn't follow some logic. He's just doing things. So I guess the puzzles would be strange and different and
expansive. They even give you a map that lets you teleport around town, it's so big. Now this is great for a while, but then the game starts trying to trick you. When you and your deputy find another victim of the Soul Taker, sometimes you'll automatically pick up his items. This saves hassle at first, but it doesn't always work this way. Sometimes a cutscene will end and the game will automatically have you leave the area, but you don't want to leave, you want to go back. There are items being left behind that don't show up in the previous screen, so you always want to double check. Here I can see the key on the floor, but the game has me walk right past it, and I have to go back and get it. If I wasn't paying attention, I could have been screwed from that and had to look all over town to find the right item. The stolen level design that's not touched up makes it even harder than it should be. That light really is an exit on the Unreal map, but in here it looks like one, but you can't go through it. This Frankenstein of a game isn't even stitched up right. Sometimes an area that had nothing might have items appear there later. Keep checking the journal. If something's not crossed off, you have to go back later. I could follow the plot up until Briggs was hiding in a stable with some terrifying horses. So he scopes it out and he's like hiding in the corner and these characters walk in and then one says horses for courses. I've played this a few times now and I have no idea what this means, but it's the key.
That's what the creature was trying to tell me.
You mean this guy?
Oh fuck! Ah man, my thing. Phew. Wait a little. Let me pause the recording. Okay, I think this position is a little better. Yeah, maybe it's a little better. My cell phone fell, so I had to adjust here. Okay, let me come back to the video.
But it's the key.
It's the key.
That's what the creature was trying to tell me.
You mean this guy? There was only one point when I was really stuck, and it's a nightmare. At some point when you leave first edition books, you get hit with a snowball.
Whoa.
The note says there's more than one way in, and I'm glad the game points it out. I'm serious, there's so many typos and spelling errors that you might think differently. I look all around the inn and I don't see any secret passage or switch or button or anything. Maybe the note meant there's another way to go inside the inn from somewhere outside. So I explore the areas around the inn, but I still don't find anything. So here's the answer. The horrible, horrible answer. First, you have to go behind the bar to a very exact spot in the corner.
Oh.
Then you mouse around for a magic pixel. No text prompt comes up, your hand just changes shape for about half a second. You have to be standing in the right place.
How the fuck a person gonna discover that alone? You have to play with a fucking tutorial. The creator's head doesn't work normal.
I have to keep waving around to do it right. Nope, there we go. Now you're in the Secret Oblivion dungeon. That, by far, is the biggest blocker in the game. Now I can just grab these Baldur's Gate cloaks and be done with it. When I finally found the big piece of evidence, I nearly had a stroke. I'm gonna leave that as a surprise. When you have all the evidence, Briggs brings it to the court. Not since A Time to Kill has there been a speech quite like this one. He's trying to reach a word count.
The evidence has been collected. The clues have been found. Okay, they repeated the same thing. Now it's time for Captain Briggs to unveil the real Soul Taker.
No, this is an evil, greedy, corrupt society whose lust for wealth and power means that they will stop at nothing to get what they want. The landlord of the very aptly named Inn of Sins. A fine, upstanding people, ladies and gentlemen. These people that you know and recognize.
Oh.
I timed it. This goes on for 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and you cannot skip it. It actually sounds like an essay being read aloud. He drags out every piece of evidence you found. I could feel myself being pulled into the void when suddenly one of the greatest cutscenes in video games begins.
He's trying. Oh, what?
Ladies and gentlemen,
he blinked to the camera. Okay, let's see. Bro! He's just having fun. He's just having fun with the game.
The Soul Taker has been banished. Your mare has been returned.
What the fuck? And everyone applauded. Oh, what the hell, man?
Absolute art. It's never explained what he did. It's great. So it's time
Absolute art? It's from 7 years ago. He almost said absolute cinema. Almost.
To the 4th chapter, after the troll removes all of our items.
What the? Doesn't make any sense.
Throwing your weight around like this.
The Machine. Chapter 4 sucks. Not in a funny way, it just drags out too little for way too long. As far as I know, this map is made entirely from Unreal maps. Way too few. This is a case study in how not to pad out your adventure game. It has a map similar to Dark Mirror, albeit much smaller.
Just an extra thing to make more time for the game. Okay, understand.
All of the numbered tower locations are completely identical, except some have items. Tower 1 and 2 have nothing, a complete waste of time. Tower 3's only item is right outside the train. There's no reason to explore the rest. So there's not a lot to see, but the game knows it. There are 2 objects that really stick out, but you can't interact with them at all. You have to do other minor tasks, and then they show up and you can pick them up. I don't know why this bothers me so much. Possibly because it was something I expected, but it didn't happen until now. The only good things about it are the cutscenes. There's only a few of them. You can beat it all in 10 minutes. So now's a good time to talk about background stuff before the final chapter. Oh my god, the whole country's a circle.
I am Benjamin Spooner Briggs, Captain of the Mary Benjamin Spooner Briggs, Captain of the Brigadier Mary Celeste.
I like Briggs as a character because he's a goofball, but you don't learn a lot about him. You can learn some things from the bonus disc. It's an enlightening piece of media. For starters, it has an entire intro cutscene that's not in the game. Yeah, when you're just thrown into it all with no context, this was supposed to be in front of it.
5, the
Why it's not actually in the game, I have no idea. It has an intro, credits, titles pop up, and it's way more elaborate than the one the game has. I can only put it down as another mystery. Anyways, the weird vampires in the intro are brothers named Destiny and Fate. But aren't those the same thing? I guess destiny usually has a more positive connotation than fate, but still. Anyhow, Briggs gets lost in the Bermuda Triangle. It has some live action footage that people debate over the source of, but they definitely didn't make it.
Yeah.
It explains that Briggs is
everything in the game was stole, so makes sense to assume that this one was stole from some movie, some series, some video, something. It's from someone else.
Island and his actions will determine the future of mankind. Those are higher stakes than what the intro implied. Wait, that's the Crisis demo. Maybe they scrapped it because they knew they weren't allowed to use that. It's still incredibly vague, but better than what the game came with. It even shows why Briggs is flying through the big hell portal from Spawn. So Briggs is still a goofball and this doesn't change that. But here's where it gets strange. Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs was a real man.
Bro.
His ship, the Mary Celeste, was also real and was found derelict a few days after this game takes place. Briggs and his crew were never seen again. This game is the final legacy of a real God-fearing sea captain.
He disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle.
Grab your Chicago style and get on JSTOR,
shit.
it's time to learn. Limbo of the Lost was a book originally published in 1969. It got republished in the 70s as Limbo of the Lost, Actual Stories of Sea Mysteries. There were several articles and a few books talking about the Bermuda Triangle before this one, but this helped popularize it.
It was
the real
as
course
strange
of
the
the ship was
game.
nowhere near the triangle, but here's where things get a little tricky. So I went to my buddy Tex from the Black Pants Legion. He's done historical work specializing in maritime history, so he'd be perfect. At this point, I knew that the real Mary Celeste was one of those weird sea mysteries. It was found derelict near Portugal with no crew, all the cargo intact.
It was not the Bermuda Triangle, was near Portugal.
One of those weird sea mysteries. It was found derelict near Portugal with no crew, all the cargo intact, but a missing lifeboat. Some of the sails and rigging were damaged, but that was about it. Now here's where things get complicated. Sir Arthur Doyle, the guy who wrote Sherlock Holmes, had a short story published in 1884. It was in an issue of Cornhill magazine, and was based on the real Mary Celeste. He just changed minor details and names, like calling the ship the Marie Celeste. The story ended up being so popular that to this day it corrupts historical documents about the real ship.
Bro.
The US consul in Gibraltar, who had been present at Mary Celeste's hearings, would later make inquiries based on the story's facts. After Tex did some groundwork and things, he found out the big discrepancy: the cargo. Doyle's account puts the cargo value at $35,000, which is worth more than the ship. The alcohol was also going to be used to fortify wines, but that's not how this works. The real ship had 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol, most likely pyridine and methylate spirits. This wouldn't be how port and fortified wine were made. They would use a neutral grape spirit, most likely locally, not from overseas. Not to mention that port was mainly a cocktail mixer in the Victorian era. Shipping booze across the Atlantic to make ratchet peasant wine would have been stupid and expensive. So any account saying the cargo was worth $35K and being used to fortify alcohol is wrong, and written by brainlets. This eliminates most accounts of mutiny and aliens. So was Briggs eaten by his crew? A sea monster? Well, the most likely answer came out a few years before this game was made. Dr. Andrea Sella of the UCL Chemistry Department built a replica of the Mary Celeste. He simulated a butane explosion from the UCL Chemistry. Well, the most likely answer came out a few years before this game was made. Dr. Andrea Sella of the UCL Chemistry Department built a replica of the Mary Celeste. He simulated a butane explosion from the cargo hold, which made a big fireball but left no signs of burning on the ship itself. This would explain why the ship was damaged but showed no signs of burning due to a pressurized explosion. It explains everything being left behind and no entry in the captain's log, because explosions at sea are scary. So why are there still weird theories? Because there's money to be made off mystery.
Much as the simplest solution makes sense, other tantalizing evidence suggests another fate for the Mary Celeste.
There was something on History Channel about it.
Claims that on the night of November 25th, she had a dream.
No way.
That said that her husband had been murdered at sea.
Please stop. The new owners of the Mary Celeste then took it to a reef off the coast of Haiti and tried to wreck it there for 6 insurance policies. They didn't get it. Speaking of scams, the developers claim they didn't steal anything. It was all done by a mysterious person or entity that they outsourced. Well, guess what we're coming back to? Remember the Amiga demo? This hallway is the key. There's another Amiga game called Guy Spy, and people point out some striking similarities in this hallway. That's right, even back then, they were ripping people off. This game is legendary. So, let's move on to the final chapter.
He mentioned something interesting. Cypher is pursuing the research.
Robots?
He claims that what they're doing in
out of nowhere, mechas.
Africa is the missing piece.
I said this guy was just freestyling. anything that comes to mind.
A weapon
What
to
the
surpass
fuck?
Metal Gear.
The Citadel. This is another short one made of Unreal maps, but I like it a lot more aesthetically. The original score, maybe the only thing not stolen, is also really good. The puzzle's just matching up a right hammer with the right head on the wall and you're good to go. Still, for the final level in this adventure, it seems like a letdown. It did seem rational at first.
What the fuck?
After all, they couldn't expect a ton of people to get this far.
The
But then the
17s?
true final challenge began.
It's very dark down here. What? Oh, my head.
The way he talks.
Intruder. The Dark One knows you.
What the fuck?
Where is the seal? The Chosen commands your death. You answer to me.
What the fuck is going? It ends. It's the end? No way.
That is a legitimately awesome build-up. This is a time challenge. Remember where each head was and activate them in
okay.
order of a panel. This is not a lenient timer.
More puzzles. But the way these guys made his game without any logic, would the person be able to do the puzzle?
I got all the symbols, but now there's letters. Looks like destiny. The timer keeps
Destiny
going, you don't have time
and
to screw around.
fate?
You're gonna be at the bottom, so you need to get those letters
The
in
two
as fast as you can.
vampires?
Once you do, you've won it all. I'm saving the best
Oh.
ending for last. This comes after. Fate is upset that Destiny has beaten him, and so they opt in for a double or nothing. That's right, they were already teasing a sequel. We both know a lot of reasons why that's not gonna happen. For those same reasons, I would highly recommend checking it out, or getting a copy. Unsurprisingly, there were a lot of legal issues after this game came out,
Of
so the
course,
retail boxes got
a bunch
pulled.
of things
At the time of this video, you can still find wrapped copies
plagiarized.
for 15 to 20 US$, but those won't last forever. This isn't getting a digital release or an enhanced edition anytime soon. For all its problems, it's such a bizarre and funny experience that, for someone like me,
It
I
was
couldn't help but
funny.
keep going. And nothing reflects its spirit better than the
I'm glad
real
that
ending.
he made this
Thanks for
video, man,
watching.
because
These videos are
playing this game sounds
increasingly
like a
harder to make
hassle.
due to scheduling issues, but I'm trying to do it when I can. At
And
some
the
point in the near future,
animations
I'll have a special
so
showing
fuck
of this game on
strange.
Twitch. Same name as the YouTube one. If you stuck around this long, thanks again, and here's the perfect ending.
Let's
I
go.
can't see a thing.
Captain Briggs, the king of the Limbo. Bro. What the fuck?
Baby. Now that sounds really groovy.
Everything about this.
Let's sing. Well, it's I to see Briggs safe and
No way.
sound. After all he's been around,
A musical ending.
he should be crowned the king of Limbo. Well, he's had his ups and he's had his downs.
The guy just didn't care.
And his frowns. But I'll still say he should be crowned the king of Limbo.
What more can a poor boy do? Working for the likes
Of me and you. What more can I say? I could help in any way.
It's courage to the brink.
What the
If
fuck?
it were me, I would turn to drink. Well, that's the reason I think he should be the king of Limbo. Yeah, he had to face enough sins, but at least he kept his leggy.
There's no way he was pure when he made this shit, man. What the fuck?
Take it away with you, baby.
Hit a baby.
That's cool.
What? What do I do? Working for the likes of me and you. one more poor boy say, but you happen in your way.
We've all had fun, you must agree.
Even though interactively, but now we feel that we shall be the king of Limbo. The chubida, 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 bro. Woo, that was a ending. What the fuck? The Art of Retard Maxing. What the fuck? That was a end. If I ever see one. Bro, thank you for the guy. I forgot his name. Let me give a look. For the guy that asked for this reaction. What the fuck, man? Alpha Shocker. Really nice, really nice. Okay, let me stop the recording. I'll probably post later on the channel. I can't post everything because I tried to post 5 videos and then YouTube kinda punished me. He only put one to be recommended, the rest did not got as much views, I think. I don't know. So I tried to post 1 video per day. Let me stop the recording. If you like it, please give it a like, comment something, and subscribe. And if you have any recommendation, just say.